Hey, hi everyone. So in this video, I will be talking about Epam interview. And if you will be having your Epam interview or you have received the mail from Epam, you can just mention something in the comment section that you will be having your Epam interview in the upcoming week, or you can mention the date. Okay. So let's discuss about this. First of all, this is the kind of mail I already talked about this in the morning, but in this video, we will be talking about the Epam preparation. So, dear candidate, greetings from Epam Systems. Thanks for taking the time for the online test. As you have been shortlisted for the test, we are reaching out to confirm your availability, interest in participating in the next step of hiring process. To confirm your participation, please complete the form. And here they have provided the location of the interview. Mandatory documents to carry for in-person interviews: resume, hard copy, government approved ID proof, and one passport size photograph. Should things go well, your joining date will be December 15. So December 15 is a joining date. That means the process will be super fast. Okay. And now this is your chance to become actually a potential job candidate, not a jobless for future. Okay. Because now you have already cleared the assessment of EPAM. Is a very, very important, like very important information, because now this is the only stage which you need to clear, and definitely the company is very, very good. Okay. So let's discuss about and understand the EPAM interview. So first of all, I just want to talk about the interview notes. You can look for the interview notes in the description. The link will be in the description. You can use for EPAM or for any other company. So basically all kind of things you will be getting, like OOPS and a crash note book you will be getting. So in this book you will be getting all the important questions: OOPS, programming, STL collection framework, HR question, DSA theory, project based question, CS fundamental, SQL queries, computer science, coding sheet, everything you will be getting here. Link will be in the description. So let's start discussing about the EPAM interviews. Okay. So first of all, let me share some updates with you. So EPAM actually hired in 2023. For 2024, they only hired on campus majorly. Okay. And now in 2025, we are also getting the off campus drive. Okay. Now I'll just discuss about the difference between the on campus and off campus interview, and then you guys can decide how you need to prepare. Okay. So first of all, I am talking about 2023 off campus drive. Okay. 2023 off campus drive. So majority of the interviews in the off campus drive from 2023 was conducted, and the duration was for around half hour, which is 30 minutes. Okay. Now in this 30 minutes, the main important thing is most of the interview was fully technical basis. Okay. So basically what kind of question do they asked in off campus for 2023? So see, first of all, introduction, it it is very, very important, and the discussion about the uh, whatever you have written in your CV. Okay. Now coming to the main important parts. Okay. Three four things which they actually focused is: the first important thing is one programming language. Okay. So suppose you have written C++, take it for an example, or you have written Java. First of all, they will analyze if your core Java concepts or core C++ concepts are clear or not. Okay, are clear or not. So first of all, the main part is one programming language with all the basics. You should have a good command on it. Okay, so that is very, very important. Second point is object oriented programming. Okay, so for object oriented programming, they divide the question into two parts: one is theory and one is example. So for each and every definition and each and every concept, you should divide your question into two parts: one is theory and one is example. You should know about the theory answer of the question, also the practical example of that. Suppose someone is asking you about like what is encapsulation. Okay, so you should tell about the encapsulation concept, but the most important part, what is the practical implementation of it, or a example of encapsulation. If someone is asking you about polymorphism, you can discuss about polymorphism, but also the practical implementation and the theory example, whatever. Okay. So this thing should be very, very clear. Okay. And a deeper knowledge is definitely required in programming in OOPS. What I have noticed is they also focused much on the projects. Okay. So suppose you have built a project. Suppose let's take an example. It's a full stack project. Okay. So suppose you have built a full stack project. Okay. And suppose your tech stack is MERN. Okay, suppose your tech stack is MERN. So first of all, you should have a basic idea about MERN, like what you have done with MongoDB, what you have done with Express, React, or Node. Okay, so first of all, you should have a basic idea about these tech stacks, also why you have used it, and the advantages of the tech stack. Okay, so these things definitely you should know. Okay, apart from this, like some important functionality of your projects. Okay, because see, no one focuses on the things which are very common. No one will ask you how you created this button in your website, because that's a very common thing. So suppose there are some peak points in your project. So suppose there are 3 to 4 important or eye-catching facilities are there in your project. This is your responsibility, that you should know what kind of functionality you have written, like how you have implemented that and what you have done in that. So for each and every eye-catching thing, you should know about the internal implementation of that. Also make sure you are preparing the cross questions for your project. Okay, apart from this, so this is the all about project. You have your CV. So go through your CV. If you have written anything which is highlighting anything, suppose you have done certification in machine learning, or you have some good projects in machine learning, so it totally depends what you have written in your resume. So according to your resume also, you prepare your skills as I have mentioned in the project. Like the basic skill knowledge you should have, the important things which you have done. Okay, that you should know the internal implementation as well, because they can ask about it. Okay, apart from this, SQL and DBMS is very important. Okay, SQL DBMS is very important. Make sure you go through this as well. Okay, SQL and DBMS, you should know about the SQL queries, at least 30 to 40 good queries you should practice. For DBMS, I would suggest to go for the theory questions as well, and the basic syntax. Okay, apart from this, for the new tech stack, suppose the topics are like cloud, AI, ML, okay, and blockchain. At least you should have a basic idea, like what is a cloud, what is a AI, what is ML, what is blockchain, what are some basic things. Like cloud is divided into 4 part: one is private, one is public, one is hybrid. So these kind of basic things only for the new tech stack, because if you know these things, yes, you will be confident in your interview. Apart from this, they can ask any miscellaneous thing, and coding question, concepts basic as well from DSA. Okay, so see, EPAM also focus on DSA coding question. Maybe they will ask you. They see in off-campus, most of the times, generally in the 50 to 60% cases, they don't ask the coding questions. Okay, but you should be prepared for it. At least basic DSA knowledge you should have, and for coding question also, like basic level of knowledge, basic knowledge you should have, because see, the expectation is you are clearing the online assessment and you have done the 2 coding questions. So their expectation is you have done it by your own. So basic things you should definitely know. Okay, so basic knowledge of coding and DSA definitely you should have. If you are prepared this much, okay, and if you have prepared the behavior questions, apart from this for technical, I think you are good prepared for EPAM for off campus. See, talking about on campus, so for on campus, they have taken around 20 to 25 minutes interview in on campus for year of 2024. The main focus of these interviews are the projects and CV things, which I have noticed in the previous year for the on campus interview. For for off campus, they have explored other technical topics as well. Like they asked the question from DBMS. Okay, they asked from SQL. They asked the questions apart from the technologies which mentioned directly in the resume. Like they discussed other things as well. But for the on campus 2024, the most focus of the interview was like the CV points and the projects. Okay, mostly this was the favor, and apart from this, programming which you have mentioned, they generally followed the common pattern. They asked about the projects, detailed project. They asked so many detailed question on that CV and programming. This was related to on campus. Now, off campus, the interview covered also some vast topics, because they also asked some other discipline things. Because in one interview, I have seen one candidate mentioned that they asked about the SDLC as well in off-campus interview. Okay, so this is also a basic CS fundamentals. So as I have mentioned, for AI, ML, blockchain, cloud, only basic need, like only basic things you should know. You also have the time, so So that way you can prepare better. So for that also I will mention one thing. So in the interview notes, you can go in the computer science. In computer science, we provided one PDF for computer science journal. This PDF will be enough for giving the basic knowledge about these topics, only for 16 pages. For SQL queries, we provided a separate PDF. For CS fundamentals, for DBMS, operating system networking, we provided separate PDFs. For project based question, we provided the separate PDF with a lot of questions, HR question, programming question, oops question, and a ebook containing only the important questions we have provided. So you can purchase it for your interview preparation if you want the notes for your quick preparation. Thank you so much for watching.